Namaskar and welcome to NFL Masala. I'm your co-host Anant.
And I'm your other co-host, Rakshak. Welcome to Season 4, Episode 15 of NFL Masala, where we talk about all the latest happenings in the NFL, a little bit of spice. How are we doing today?
We are doing good. Let's get started, shall we, with the
Market news. And
Yeah. So today we will be recapping week 2 and previewing what's going to happen in week 3. But before that, like Rakshak said, we will be talking about some Dhamakedar news. First bit, injuries upon injuries upon injuries. Biggest injury news. Joe Burrow out for 3 months. Could come in sometime later in the year 2025 with a turf toe injury. Unfortunately, a turf toe is not as benign as it sounds. It's basically a tear in the ligaments of your toe. So it is not a good injury no injury is a good injury to have, but especially this one is terrible. So he's been officially placed on injured reserve, and as I said before, is expected to miss 3 months following the surgery to repair turf toe injury. And in the meantime, Jake Browning is going to be their starting quarterback.
yeah, I mean the fact that that the Bengals are 2-0, if they can try and pull up some winning formula with it, it'd be incredible. But then again, the Easter Bunny is real, and Santa Claus is true.
Oh yeah. Alrighty. And then one more bit of news before we get started with with our actual content today. Cardi B has announced that she is now expecting a child with Stefon Diggs. That's happened now.
I like this, but I mean I do like this, and congratulations to Cardi B and Stephon Diggs. So all that, but we have to talk about another couple of injury news. I think this is also coming in big losses for this upcoming Thursday night game. Linebackers Matt Milano and defensive tackle Ed Oliver have been ruled out, according to Ian Rappaport for Buffalo. Not looking good. And another bit of news, like Khalil Mack, if you manage to stay up and watch the 2 Monday night doubleheaders, which are woof. You saw Khalil Mack had a dislocated elbow. He will be expected to be back within a few weeks, per Rappaport and Garofalo. Not season ending. That's just tough. That's all I will say. Like, everything has been injuries galore. And also the Jags releasing Darnell Savage.
Right. Yeah. Just after about a year and a half.
A year and a half into his contract, right? It's very interesting.
Yeah, he hasn't been doing well, and that presumably means that Travis Hunter is going to be taking some more DB snaps, maybe rotate in with some other players, but we'll see how that goes in the future now. Alrighty, well, that means we are going to be starting with our week 2 recap, starting with them Packers.
Oh my God.
27-18. Packers walloped the Commanders. It wasn't even close. I mean, it was more like 20-3 or 20-6 at that point. Those touchdowns at the end were basically garbage time touchdowns because our defense, man, holy shit. Honestly, Rakshak, I think this is one of the best defenses I've ever seen from the Packers side.
Dude, you know what? I think your defense was already good to begin with, but just by adding Parsons, man, it's literally, part of my French, everyone, it's a fucking cheat code. Yeah, it is a cheat code as hell. And I can imagine Jeff Hatley. He could literally troll other teams, like saying, "Oh, we don't need to play Parsons an entire game. Just sneak in that fear." Fear is a very big factor, and the Packers, I think they're about to master it and screw up everyone.
Yeah.
He could just troll and just like, oh, I'm not gonna play. Oh, psych! Or like or the late
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero. Guess what? I lied.
And now Micah Parsons is officially off our injury report. Knock on wood.
Oh, nice.
So that means he's going to be completely unleashed in these upcoming games on the season. And like you said, Rakshak, it is a cheat code because he supercharges
Yeah,
prey
I
for
was
opposing
for those that
QBs.
did for those that didn't notice, I was doing the cross. I don't know if I did that right. Please, whichever God, don't blaspheme it. Don't curse us.
So smite me down.
Don't.
Um, but yeah, this is a cheat code because it's not that he himself is the only one who's performing well. He only has about a sack and a half on the season, which is not that much. But it's the supercharged network effect that he has. Well, what am I saying? Sorry, some NBA terms are slipping in here.
It's
But he
all
has
good.
a
Just expand it. We're going
these
to we're
these
going NBA
these
Masala pretty soon.
no, these words have been floating around in my brain for the past couple of days. But yeah, he's supercharging that entire defense by allowing everybody else to play at 120%. And like you can see the results on the field 25% pressure rate on Jaden Daniels, who is one of the most elusive quarterbacks and one of the best quarterbacks in the game at such a young age. And we were pressuring him on every four throws that he had. Every four dropbacks, there was a pressure on him. And you could clearly see that in the entire game. Four sacks. And like aside from the statistics, when you look at the game tape, we forced the commies to have an identity crisis because what they like to do is they like to get their gadget players in open space and let Jaden Daniels throw to them so that they can build a rhythm and then push the ball deeper down the field so that eventually Scary Terry is going to have a nice big game. And Jaden Daniels is going to have a nice rushing game as well. Like that's what they like to do, slowly build up from the bottom up.
Mm-hmm.
But what we did was we just smothered them an enveloping defense like one of the greatest that we've seen in the Legion of Boom. Just like not allowing the offense to get any consistent um, success. Sixth in intended air yards per pass attempt. That means they're not even attempting to throw down the field because it's so well covered by our safety tandem of Evan Williams and Xavier McKinney. 2.2 completed air yards per pass attempt. That means that every time the opposing quarterback has decided to throw, they are only completing on average 2 yards, air yards. You mean 2 yards in the air. That's all that they're able to accomplish. That is pathetically low for an offense and ridiculously low for any passing defense. Like that is the definition of a great smothering pass defense. Not allowing any deep or intermediate throws to be made and only
Incredible.
forcing small, like lower completions.
Dink and basically you're limiting them to like a short passing game, dink and dunk.
Exactly.
And guess
Exactly.
what? That and I'm just reminded, and I love to chime this on my ex Texas Tech head coach and now offensive coordinator for the Commanders, Cliff Kingsbury. This is not Kingsbury's MO. His MO is what I've said multiple times. It's a fucking air raid system that is done in college, but luckily I've seen him like trying to open up with the run game, but hell, you traded away Brian Robinson Jr., which was, I'm sorry, it was a bad mistake on their part. You're relying on a rookie and Austin Eckler. Guess what? He's out for the season of a torn
Mm-hmm.
Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
And it was unfortunately it was a non-contact injury,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
those type of plays suck so bad. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
all the best to Austin Eckler, but like This Packers defense, I'm sorry. I think they went wolf mode. They went wolf, like a pack of wolves.
Wolf mode. Yes,
No, wolf pack. They
exactly.
went wolf pack mode.
Wolf pack
New
mode.
NFL
That's
Masala
exactly.
terminology. When I say swarm, it's a wolf pack mode. Like they keep on hunting.
That's exactly correct, Chuck. 6 QB hits, and the Commanders had to rely so much on yak, yards after catch. And when you look at, I want to give two players a shout out. Both corners, Keyshawn Nixon and Carrington Valentine. 28.6 completion percentage allowed and 20 completion percentage allowed, respectively, for Carrington Valentine. That means he's only allowing 1 out of every 5 throws to be completed. And when you look at the overall grade for DBs by PFF on the entire year, so far across 2 games, where is Keyshawn Nixon ranked? Across all cornerbacks.
I'm gonna say top 10.
Number 1.
I think rightfully so, because you know what's also helps the cornerback in their positions. When your defense, so when your front seven generates pressure, the cornerback's life is so much easier. It's like, oh, I could do this shit all day because you guys are handling it.
That is true, but when you also
No,
look
but
at
like,
Keyshawn Nixon,
and I think it's very
he has
good.
improved.
And I say, like, with the improvements that I haven't paid attention to Keyshawn Nixon, but you're saying, like,
That's
with the
what I'm
improvements
saying.
I'm seeing, I think that is a very good sign. Because even just rushing forward, man, if Keyshawn Nixon is able to hold his own, that's enough time for, oh God, Parsons is about to murder me. Or, oh God, Sean Gary's going to come. Oh God, some guy from the Packers is going to kill me. Or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that Keyshawn Nixon has improved, but also it's like a synergistic effect. It's when Micah Parsons comes in, he has completely radicalized the pace at which the Packers attack, but also Keyshawn Nixon himself has individually improved as a corner, because whenever you look at the game tape, he has incredible vision on the actual receiver whenever the ball is thrown. He's got really good breakaway speed and tackling speed as well. He gets the ball quickly to disrupt the pass.
Yep.
And he just has very good sticky man coverage. And then you look at Carrington Valentine, he's ranked 7th out of all DBs. So
Incredible.
it's not like, they have improved a lot. I think that's the Jeff Hafley effect of, just his way of coaching up DBs and improving DBs. Keyshawn Nixon, CB1. I mean, he's been proclaiming himself all summer, saying, hey, I'm going to step up to the mantle. And boy, has he stepped up to that mantle. He has hit a home run every single week so far. Yes, it's just 2 weeks into the season, but it's very, very good news. Now, overall, this going back to the game, the first 7 offensive drives, 7. The Commanders only had 10 drives. The first 7 offensive drives for the Commanders we only allowed 3 points, 1 field goal, 2 missed field goals, and 4 punts.
Incredible.
Only garbage time touchdowns. The Chargers and the Packers are the only defenses so far in the season to have not allowed a first half touchdown by the opposing offense.
The Chargers included.
The Chargers and the Packers.
Okay, no, I mean I get the Packers, but the Chargers, that's a first.
Yeah. Their defense is also really, really good as well. Alrighty. Let's switch gears now. I've enough. I can't heap enough praises on the defense, but I got to talk about the opposing side of the football. The offense, great individual performances. I got to always start off with the great news. Kraft Yak and Cheese. I mean, my God, man. He is a star tight end. He's a top 5 tight end now. Nobody can tackle him. Very much like George Kittle. He blocks his ass off. He catches the ball consistently, and he's just so hard to bring down. Like his momentum is there's just no imperfection to his game.
Mhm.
Maybe the only imperfection you can say is that he doesn't run his routes that cleanly, but that's like maybe once in a blue moon. Like he's so consistently good. He could become our number one passing threat on this offense. Like he's that good.
I honestly, you know what? Beat the dome moment right here. I honestly think he is your number one passing threat from what I'm seeing. Because if Jordan Love, for all the things I've seen with Jordan Love, his only thing is like he's trying to go for that goal route and get the home run drive, which is okay. I think that's great. But if you have Tucker Kraft wide open, throw the damn ball to him and let him break through the damn floodgates. Because that's honestly the home run ball. And if he focuses more on that, I'm like,
yeah, I mean, either way, right? Either way, we either get that deep ball working, with Jordan Love said, especially with Jaden Reed gone.
Yeah.
That is one thing that I will say. Uh, Matthew Golden is supposed to be getting some more reps and more chemistry building with Jordan Love, which is going to be really great. But yeah, Kraft Yak and Cheese. This is the greatest game from Packers tight end since Richard Rodgers in 2013, the
Oh, Dick Rod?
Miracle in Motown. No,
No, he goes by yeah. I got it.
really?
Dick Rod, yeah, that's his nickname.
Oh,
It's
I've
some
never
sort
heard
of
of that one.
no,
But yeah,
never mind.
Miracle in Motown. That's how I'm going to remember it. Way back in 2013, Kraft Yak and Cheese this game had 6 receptions, 124 yards, and a touchdown. That is just perfection, honestly, just perfection. Now, it was a great game from Jordan Love too. Epic throws with pinpoint accuracy, especially that touchdown that got called back because of an offensive holding penalty on Anthony Dalton, to Jaden Reed, where unfortunately Jaden Reed did get injured. Unfortunate news, Kachida news for the Packers. Jaden Reed did break his collarbone on that play. He has gotten a couple surgeries on a collarbone and on a toe injury, which means he'll be out for at least 4, probably 5 weeks. We'll see how his healing process goes, but he won't be back until well into the season. So we are anticipating his return. That is for sure. But until then, Jordan Love and Matthew Golden have to work on those inconsistent deep balls. And that has to be something that they work on, because, man, Matthew Golden is wide ass open on 2 of those plays. One of those plays was going to be a 96-yard touchdown if Jordan Love had reduced the amount of air that he had put on the ball, if he had not overthrown the ball. And the other pass, which would have been a 50-yard pass bomb, if Jordan Love had thrown the ball a little bit deeper, if he had not underthrown that ball. So a little bit of inconsistency in that, but I love to see the fact that he's just chucking it downfield. 13.3 air yards per attempt on average, leads the league, but also leads, is one of the highest quarterbacks in terms of, actually leads the league, minimum 60 pass attempts in completion percentage over expected amongst all QBs so far. So, going back to this game, just a phenomenal game overall. 19 of 31 for close to 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. And yeah, he could have had more, but that's fine. There's still some, building blocks to be made, but he's just in phenomenal mode right now. Josh Jacobs, also that running game, decent, especially in the second half, but still not 100% performance from last year. But man, despite the inconsistencies on the offense, especially on a drive to drive basis, we are still putting up 27 points. Not on scrubs either. These two were the divisional round teams, and one of them was the second best team in the NFC last year. So definitely more than enough. That's it for my side. Let's talk about them Eagles versus Chiefs.
Okay. How do I put this? I will say again one word: ugly win.
Yep.
It was very ugly. You said the Eagles will win. I honestly had this initially. I thought the Eagles were going to lose this game because number one, they were without Dallas Goedert entering, and we saw the effect of it because Goddard, when healthy, not only is he a great safety blanket, like for Jalen Hurts to throw to, he's good as a pass blocker and a run blocker.
I was gonna say,
Calcaterra
Jalen Hurts needs that pass.
Yeah, and oh my god, it was so ugly, and I honestly have I literally have PTSD from 2023 because it's the same stupid ass concept I'm seeing with the new OC Kevin Patul, who's technically running Nick Sirianni's offense. When Kellen Moore was there, they're like, okay, we got more to a little bit run centric, and then we open up a place more in the passing. But I honestly thought the ghost of Brian Johnson literally took over. I mean, again, Hurts, 15 for 22, 101 yards, looked very off against the blitz. Spags, hell of a job. He brought the blitz multiple times. The Eagles had no answers for it. I was surprised I did not see any variations. And most of the time, they were in shotgun formation. Why the hell are you not taking snaps under center? Why the hell are you still going the same pistol read formation? Like, why are you not switching up your plays? It is so damn predictable. And late, again, you have to do, you're depending on the heroics of AJ and Devontae to make plays for you. Thank God Devontae made like that 28-yard play when Arts got zero blitz that game.
Mm-hmm.
And Devontae was able to haul and catch it against the likes of Trent McDuffie. And then AJ Brown, incredible one-handed catch on that third down. But it's like some of the passing, it looked very off. Yes, we are able to run the ball properly, but you can't run it all the time. Defenses will learn how to stop it. They will bracket. They have linebackers that can move side to side, that can move sideline to sideline. Saquon is a great player. Do not get me wrong, but he cannot be your literal offense. And I know we're gonna get to controversy at the tush push and what happened. It's just like it's a bit draining for me because I'm looking at it back and forth. Eagles and Chiefs both got away with rough ball. I think it was literally a defensive game. It was between who was better, Spags and Vic Fangio. I think Vic Fangio still beats the Shanahan system hands down because he knows how to fucking do it. But I think Saquon Barkley made the right plays when he needed to, 22 carries for 88 yards and 1 touchdown run. And, of course, when Jalen Hurts had that tush push. And, of course, apparently the tush push, all of a sudden, it broke Kansas City's defensive lineman, Chris Jones. I don't know if you saw the quote. Chris Jones, and near the end of the game, Chris Jones was, yelling at Hurts, boy, you didn't even get over 100. Oh, you didn't even get, over 100 passing yards. Jalen Hurts says, and I quote, we still won the fucking game. Shut your bitch ass up.
That is true. That is
I'm
true.
like, yeah, but this is me. I'm like, yeah, but it was not pretty. And I mean, Kevin Patul, and I was hearing this from the Soup Boys pod. Cozy and Rico were telling me this, and I quote: "It's like Kevin Patullo said. Basically, the game plan is to keep basic, and they're relying heavily on the talent, especially to wing it. That's why we aren't seeing wide schemes open." And I'm thinking, welcome to North Korea football, gentlemen, or should I say comrades? Because literally, this is so stupid. You cannot rely on talent. This is why AJ Brown is getting frustrated. We're getting fake ass reports like, oh, he's gonna get traded and all that shit. blows my mind that yes, this is a
This
team
is
friendly.
why Jalen Hurts is not a top tier quarterback.
I will get
I'm
that.
just gonna say it. I'm sorry. I'm
But he
sorry.
does win you games.
Oh my God, here we go again. You know
He
what? Never
will win
mind.
you games
Never
with his
mind.
legs and all that.
Okay. All right. All
I
right.
mean, if Pete and Austin were there, I think they'll bring up a little bit more. Me, I'm just like, this is all I can say. And it's like,
I
it's a
know.
fucking stupid offensive personality. I mean, I want to see, and like, I mean, like, you're, and Devontae Smith, 53 yards. AJ Brown, like, yeah, he got like 8 catches, but it's like, you didn't target him a lot more. He's so good against one-on-one. Why the hell are you trying to play safe? And guess what? Coward's way out. What is it, 3rd and 18, 3rd and 16? What do? Draw play to fucking AJ Dillon and all this shit? I didn't even see Tank Bigsby on the floor. That's what drives me insane. We have so much talent, yet we cannot create. I don't want to talk about the offense because they suck.
This is Nick Sirianni, honestly. This is Nick
I would,
Sirianni.
and he wants to be like a CEO, head coach. It's like,
Yeah,
but
you're
the
failing as a
only thing,
CEO. If one of your
but the only
yeah.
thing that's like literally saving my grace right now. Holy shit, Vic Fangio knows how to coach a defense. And I think he finally has his edge. I mean, he's a fracking god. Last year, he said, like, oh, we're not going to blitz that much against Mahomes. We brought 0 blitzes and we were able to sack Mahomes. Guess what? Vic Fangio did? Apparently, the Eagles were able to register like if you think about the Super Bowl, here's the stats: 6 QB sacks, 3 takeaways. This time, he brought in 4 blitzes on 10 opening dropbacks, mix it up, and then, of course, Mahomes. And one thing we did, I said, limit Patrick Mahomes. Yes, Xavier Worthy and Rishi Rice are out, but they still have Travis Kelce. They still have Taquan Thornton. They still have Corvette, Juju Smith-Schuster, and who else? Make Mahomes beat you with his legs. Yes, and I'll give credit to Mahomes because he's a damn good QB because I saw him play Texas Tech. 6 rushes for 60 yards. And I mean, dude, I'm sorry, Cooper DeJean and Andrew Makuba, but y'all got sent to the shadow realm. Mahomes just stuffed you guys out on a 3rd down and conversion. That was hella impressive.
Yeah.
But I liked what this defense was doing. Like being able to, and guess what? In the second half, what Vic Fangio does instead of what Jonathan Gannon couldn't fucking do, yes, I'm going to still shit on Gannon, is make his adjustments. Think about this. Mahomes, 6 rushes for 60 yards in the first half. Guess what he had in the second half? He was held to 6 rushing yards.
There you go.
And Travis Kelce, boy, oh boy, let's talk about Kelce. And this, I have to say, is my Masala moment of the day nominee right here. And I thought this was incredible. I mean, first of all, I have to give a special shout out to the rookie Andrew Makuba. Holy shit, what a rookie year he's having so far, especially in the second game. He gets sent to the shadow realm by Mahomes. He gets hit by Blankenship on some busted coverage, but what does he do? In the second half, he was able to pull off in the first half, he managed to get himself a half a sack with Zadarius Smith. Zadarius Smith, who comes in, makes an immediate impact on the pass rush. We needed an adult, and Aziz Ojolari is probably not it. He's probably going to get released. But, hey, Zadarius Smith, that payoff is working well. He's a veteran. He's the oldest guy in the defense, literally, in the defensive line. And he's putting Jalen Carter under his wing. Jalen Carter, nice couple of pass rushers, but holy shit, did you see Jordan Davis and Josh Uche? They looked so much impressive and so much better. The pass rushers, there's Zach Bond making the plays when he needed to, but Cooper DeJean led the team in sacks. I mean, led the team in tackles. But again, I want to get back to my new chant, Andrew Makuba. So here's the play. Chiefs are driving to the Eagles red zone. 13-10. Chiefs score on the fourth down in the fourth quarter. They have the lead, probably game over. But what happens? Mahomes throws a short route to Kelce after getting pressured. Kelce bobbles it. Lo and behold, Andrew Makuba sitting here, catches it, and runs it all the way to the Philly 41. first pick before he gets tackled by Josh Simmons from the Chiefs, rookie OT. Hell of a game for him.
Yep.
I mean, hell of a run. I'll give him credit for that. But man, my God, what a freaking bounce back. And I mean, like, again, having in-ring adjustments like what Vic Fangio was able to do, just really good. And I thought about this. If you looked at the third offensive Eagles drive, like the third offensive drive, after Harrison Butker misses a 58-yarder, which is unheard of. Because like Harrison Butker is decent at long distance. But when he missed that 58-yarder, they go 8-play, 52-yard drive. Makes up with a 6-yard completion to Smith. I like that. Throw a sideline to Smith, but then he was able to get, like, again, the screenplays were working pretty well. A couple of A.J. Dillon runs, pass tosses, and laterals, and then Saquon Barkley running it punching it for the touchdown. It's like, well, I wanted to see more consistency of this like that. And then, of course, tush push. Everyone is talking about who aligned late, what night lot. Apparently, Nick Sirianni, he has a cannon of an arm when he threw that challenge flag. I thought, like, hell, he was more accurate than that. But, and I have to talk about special teams. Holy shit! Jake Elliott can kick 50-plus yarders now. He was the Cowboys. He made a 51-yarder to get that 13-10 advantage and a 58-yarder to make, and he's 3 for 3 right now with 50-plus yard kicks. And Braden, man, the punting. He was average out of 5 punts in the game, 54.8 yards average against a very good KC special teams. That is just incredible. And not only, I don't want to talk about Makuba, but Jahad Campbell. I think we scored big on that rookie, bro. Like, honestly, he tied with Cooper DeJean. Team high 7 total tackles played well in coverage. And AJ Brown, 5 catches for 27 yards. It needs to be better. And luckily, I've heard that Dallas Goedert's going to be coming back for the upcoming week, so that will be very good. It's not glamorous, but again, as people say, win is a win, but you have to clean it up, because right now you're going to be facing a couple of very good teams and very good defenses, and they're not going to take it lightly. They probably saw what Spags did, and they're like, oh, this is fucking vanilla. Guess what we have to do to rattle Hurts? Blitz, and make him beat us with some kind of prayers. And there's only so much Vic Fangio can do. So, Capatillo, get your fucking head out of your ass. Nick Sirianni, time to reopen up that playbook that Kellen Moore left behind. Get this shit going. But I'm happy to take the 2-0 win. The Eagles are still up ahead. That's all there is.
All righty. Let's move on to our Masala games of the week. Starting with those Bucks and Texans.
Oh my God! What a game!
Very interesting game. Bucks win on a last-minute clutch drive from Baker Mayfield, 20-19. And so far in this season, in the 2 games, Baker Mayfield is leading the league in quarterbacks with game-winning drives. Last 2 games, he has had a game-winning drive. This is clutch play from Baker Mayfield. Why he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now? Because he always thrives and performs in clutch moments. He's been really, really good this week. 4th in touchdowns, 9th in EPA per dropback. And when you look at this game specifically, very, very clean performance from Baker Mayfield. 98 passer rating, not that high, but 215 yards, 2 touchdowns. It is a tough defense that he had to face in the Texans. Only 20 points allowed. Now the benefit that the Bucks have is a very, very stout rushing game. Over 130 rushing yards gained for the Bucks on this entire game, whereas the Texans only had 84 rushing yards. Sorry, Tampa Bay had 169 rushing yards, 33 from Baker himself. So 169 rushing yards from Tampa Bay. It goes to show that Houston has some things to work out, especially in terms of preventing those drives from being so long, because the Bucks nearly occupied 2/3 of the entire game in terms of time of possession, 37 minutes, and went more than roughly 50% on third down conversions. So this Houston Texans defense, it's got to improve. It's got their pass rush is really good. 4 sacks on the for the Texans, and a fumble forced on Baker Mayfield. So they are able to generate turnovers. They are able to rush the quarterback, but defending the run is something that they have to improve, which I wouldn't say was going to be one of their weaknesses, but apparently it is. I mean, they had -10 EPA gained by the defense against the rush, which is not a good performance at all. Right? You don't want to provide such an easy victory for your opposing team by providing all of this free rushing yardage, right? So that is something that the Texans definitely has to work on. Maybe it is their front seven, but I don't think so. I think they have the talent. They have Aziz Al-Shaair, they have Henry To'o, as linebackers. They got Sheldon Rankins in the interior, Daniil Hunter, and Will Anderson on the edge. They have a really good secondary. So I'm surprised that this defense is unable to win at the line of scrimmage. Now, when you do consider the Bucks offensive line, I can see that in a little bit, but even then, like this, they have some things to work on. Right? You can't be allowing 150 plus rushing yards to an opposing offense, no matter how good that offense is. Right? There's only, you can't win that many games by allowing that much yardage. So, the Texans had multiple chances to convert the defensive stops that the Texans were providing, despite the high time of possession that the Buccaneers offense had. And this leads me to the Texans offensive performance, unfortunately.
It was ugly.
That offensive line, man, I don't know what else to say. We've been saying this the entirety of last year, the entirety of the year before. This offensive line still has a ton of issues. They're tied 5th in the league with 6 sacks allowed over 2 games. 6 sacks in 2 games. That is not healthy. And then to compound that fact, you can't run the ball well either. And you can't pass the ball well either. Only 1 passing touchdown in 2 games, dude, CJ Stroud. 1 passing touchdown. They have a 0% red zone touchdown percentage. They have not scored a red zone touchdown at all. They've only settled for field goals.
I mean, like, if you think about it, just to add a little bit more to that, did you see that play calling when they were at the goal line? 4th and goal. I wanted to throw something. I want to yell at them right now, but please go ahead.
You have Nick Chubb. Come on now.
Do it for me. Just yell at them. This is on a red. Please go ahead.
You blew it.
They had it.
Blew it, Texas.
You know what? I also want to talk about clock management. When Nick Chubb, I honestly thought, like, if you think about it, before the 2-minute warning, Nick Chubb was running it. Take the knee at the 1-yard line and then punch it in. I'm like, you could trade some clock and then maybe 2-minute warning, and after that, 1 play, force the Bucks to use their timeouts. Oh,
Yeah.
and then your 2-point conversion. What the fuck was that?
I don't know, man. Sacks, terrible play calling, terrible play decision making. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, first and goal at the 8-yard line, right? You gotta punch it in.
This is
Excuse me.
great because of you Texans, because of your ineptitude. My co-host is sneezing. This is your fault.
Exactly, Texans. Yeah, but yeah, there's not much you can do. There's only so much. Excuse me. There's only so much that the Texans defense can do in these scenarios. That's all I want to say. Honestly, like the Texans offense, they need to figure this shit out because they're 0-2. The Colts are 2-0 in their division.
The
The Colts
freaking
are leading.
Colts. And
Indiana Jones.
and Daniel freaking Jones.
Indiana Jones. He deserves that nickname now.
And I found this like really funny. And yes, maybe Kalijah can't see out, but Baker Mayfield. So like after Baker Mayfield makes a third down rush, he trips over.
Yeah.
He's hurting. Then Chauncey Gardner Johnson, ex Eagle. I have him holding dear. He's talking a lot of shit. Baker gets up and he backs it up. And apparently Baker says on Twitter or like on IG, he says 10 toes down and still got the dub while trash talking CJGJ. CJGJ replies back saying, "Boy, this cute but still ringless."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, but hey, you're not with the Eagles anymore. You're the Texans, so
Nah. CJGJ, you can't be.
I'm sorry, bro. I mean, if you want to come back to Philly, that's fine by me. But
yeah. I don't think the Texans can afford it.
yeah, I mean, Kenyon Green's really bad. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
But anywho,
alrighty, that's it from my end. The Texans have a lot of cleanup to do, especially on the offensive side. I think the defense is going to figure it out. I trust DeMeco Ryans as a defensive head coach, but that offense, dude. They need to figure something out with either maybe when Joe Mixon comes back, it's
I think it'd be a lot more sound.
But I don't know.
I think, and also their offensive line. It is so bad. They need to do. I don't think
they should not have let go of Laramie Tunsil.
I don't think they should have done that. And I also think in this draft, I think they went defense, right? Defensive line. I think they should have gone offensive line. Why the hell are you not protecting your trenches? Defend or building through the trenches? They missed a mantra. Apparently, they missed a medal. Anywho, so Vikings versus the Falcons. Anna, you are a happy camper because the Vikings not only lost. I'm sorry, but they got their asses kicked. 22-6 by Michael Penix.
Oh, this was an excellent week as a Packer fan watching the Chicago Bears getting their asses beat on live television, getting assassinated and sent into extinction mode. You know, PETA had to come in and separate the Lions from murdering more of the Bears. I mean, the Bears were just about to be annihilated. Their ancestors were coming onto the field trying to protect them, and losing 51 to whatever the score was that the Bears were able to pass muster.
You know, but for the Vikings, this is what literally happened to them.
I slam my penis in the car door. You slam your penis in the car door.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. Excellent usage of the meme, Rakshak.
No, I think that was a quote by Urinating Tree when we found out all together our reactions when the Falcons drafted Michael Penix. We were all thinking, what the hell was that? And you know what? I am happy, and I'll be the first to admit, I am happy to eat crow because, but hey, you know what? Michael Penix, you won bragging rights for the Natty rematch, which I didn't think mattered anyway, but good bounce back win for the Falcons. And guess what the Falcons did instead? Because, yeah, we had a couple of injuries in the banged up offensive line, and so was our receiving core. What do you do against a Brian Flores defense? You have basically one of the best running backs right now in Bijan Robinson. Beat him the damn rock and let him wreak havoc. I mean, 22 carries, 143 yards, and a no. And then, of course, Tyler Algier back up 76 rushing yards, and the game's only touchdown because everything was like defensive performance. And by the way, Bijan's had his first 3 carries for 60 yards. Those big runs do help out. And I mean, major credit to Zach Robinson for a simple and effective game plan. If the Vikings the Vikings, with all of their might, they tried to bring in pressure and blitzes, but with like guys like Andrew Van Ginkel being out and Harrison Smith from a concussion, and you're only left with Byron Murphy, there's nothing much you could do. Falcons are like, we're going to run the damn rock. We barely need to pass. I mean, Penix had like 13 for 21 passing, 135 yards of passing, 3 sacks. But guess what? He didn't commit a turnover. Passing was pretty much a non-game factor, and it was just pretty much simple. But compared to the Vikings, this was their total yards was 198 total yards. Guess which one was the majority, passing or rushing?
Rushing.
They only rushed for 78 yards.
Oh, wow.
Passing was 158. Justin J. Jetta had became the youngest player to achieve 500 career receptions. Congrats to him. But JJ, nice. 11 for 21 for 158 yards, but 2 interceptions and a fumble. Anand, there are 3 things that I talk about that can kill offensive drives. What are they?
Sacks, penalties, turnovers.
And but according to those 3 parts, penalties, the Vikings had 8 penalties compared to the Falcons 5. And check off 1 category. Both teams, Falcons got sacked. Penix got sacked 3 times. McCarthy got sacked 6 times. So what is that? Check 2. And then turnovers. Falcons forced 1 turnover. No, Falcons had only 1 turnover. Guess how many Vikings had? 4. Wow. They lost 2. So, tic-tac-toe, y'all fucking lost because of that shit. And, I mean, if you want to talk about the Falcons defense, the rookies came up big. James Pierce Jr. And, I mean, they had 5 sacks in the first half. That is how ridiculous, I think Raheem Morris, that's their head coach, right? Just incredible. I mean,
that NFC South battle between the Bucs and Falcons is going to be spicy.
Oh yeah, that final game, and I think honestly, he earned the credit for 4 pressures in week 1. He put McCarthy in the ground on the 3rd and 2 loss for a loss of 9 yards, chipped away a half a sack, ended to end a would-be Vikings touchdown with a field goal. And I mean, not only Pierce a sack, they also had Leonard Floyd get 1, Jalen Walker rookie get 1, Rook or Horo split 1 with Pierce again. Dolores and Zach Harrison get their own. I'm like, this is their highest pressure rate since 2018. They actually have a pass rush, and yes, AJ Terrell was injured, but Xavier Watts ended the game with a pick six. Well, ended the game with a pick. Billy Bowman picked up JJ McCarthy late in the second quarter. And Divine Diablo, it was basically, he had a couple of fumble recoveries. That was good. I mean, yes, AJ Terrell was lost, but D. Alford came in, and I mean Jeff Ulbrich, hell of a job at the defensive coordinator. They've only allowed not just 29 points in 2 games, put up pressures, and I mean they brought in a super toughness. It was incredible. And guess what? The Vikings were booing. Their fans were booing instead of skull. They're saying boo, boo. And can I say that? Let's say this together for JJ McCarthy. JJ, welcome to the NFL, kid.
All righty. What a introduction for the Vikings in the past 2 weeks. And now we're going to be talking about some of the other games that happened in week 2 in our famous 5-minute segment. Shall we begin, Akshay?
Let's begin.
All righty. AFC. First game, Bengals versus Jags. Bengals pull out one of the closest victories that they've had, 31-27, with Jake Browning, MVP for the Bengals, pulling out a victory against those Jacksonville Jaguars. Multiple turnovers that the Jaguars could not capitalize on, and multiple turnovers that they had that allowed the Bengals to win. I mean, it was Jags got to clean some stuff up, that's for sure. Pats versus Dolphins, 33-27. What a turnaround in the game. The famous play sequence that has been making the rounds for NFL fans so far this week. Dolphins have a punt return for touchdown, and then the immediate kickoff return for the Patriots. The Antonio Gibson of the Patriots goes and scores a kickoff return for touchdown. In the span of 41 seconds, there is a 14-point play. Basically, 2 plays that scores 14 points in 41 seconds. This is one of the greatest sequences of plays that you'll see in a while. That's for sure. Bills, Jets, 30-10. Guess who won? It's the Bills. Nothing else to talk about except poor Josh Allen. He gets completely smushed in the face, where his nose gets swollen and it is bleeding, and he has to step out for a couple of plays. We were thinking that his season was done. It was something very serious because of the way that he was out, but no, it was just a swollen nose. He came back like the champ that he is, finished the game off against the Jets, and just showed who the Jets' daddy is, and that's the Bills. Ravens versus the Brownies. This was sadly a very close game until the Brownies decided, hey, why don't we go on an early vacation? And that's exactly what happened. Since the third quarter, at the end of the first half, it was 10-3 Baltimore. And then Baltimore decided, okay, let's actually show up. Let's stop, taking it on easy mode. We're going to score 31 points in the second half, and that's exactly what they did. 13-3, 20-3, 20-10, 27-10, 34-10, 41-10, and then finally a garbage time touchdown from Dylan Gabriel for the Cleveland Brownies. This is going to be a long season for the Browns and the Ravens. You're going to win this AFC North division. That's for sure. No competition. Up next, Colts versus Broncos. Oh my God. Indiana Jones, 29-28 on a last play bullshit penalty. Excuse my language on the Broncos. The Broncos would have won this game because it was a last, a game-winning attempt field goal, a 60-plus yard field goal from the Colts kicker that he eventually missed far to the right. But unfortunately, there was a personal foul leverage penalty. Basically, the defensive player on the Broncos put his hand on the back of the center of the offense in the Colts and used it as leverage to try and block a 60-yard attempt, which was a 15-yard penalty. So it basically ended up being a 45-yard field goal for the Colts, which they knocked it through and won the game in a last play, penalty-induced play, which was extremely sad to see for Broncos fans. And yeah, that penalty was bullshit, because when you look back at that penalty at Darkshock, there was no clear indication of leverage. He just placed his hand. It wasn't like he was climbing on the center. It was not a clear and obvious penalty. And why are you even trying to attempt to block a 60-plus yard field goal? It's 60 yards. It's not 30. Come on.
It is insane.
Finally, Chargers versus Raiders, 20-9. Geno Smith has a stat in this game, which I think is one of the most ridiculous stats I've ever seen. 0 for 10 with 4 interceptions.
Just ugly.
Yeah.
Okay, my turn then.
Mm-hmm.
So let's start with the NFC. Cowboys versus Giants. Today on What the Fuck is a Defense? Because both teams' defense was so atrocious. I mean, Russell Wilson had himself a career day, but then again, it was the Giants were leading 17-16 by the third quarter, and then all of a sudden we have a point explosion in the fourth. I mean, it went back and forth until you had automatic Aubrey kick a 64-yard to tie the game, and a 46-yarder after a Russell Wilson pick.
One of the greatest games of the year.
It's literally the greatest game for year. Seahawks versus the Steelers. Oh God, this was a mess. Sam Darnold versus Aaron Rodgers, and it all started. I mean, it was like the biggest turning point was a muffed kickoff return for a touchdown in the fourth quarter. Oh God, Sam Darnold 259 yards of passing and 2 touchdowns. I mean, it was ugly. But hey, they won. They're 1-1. Steelers are 1-1. So days of our Steelers, I guess. Rams versus Titans. Rams were trailing 13-10 at halftime. They outscored the Titans, Tennessee 23-6 in the second half. Matt Stafford, 298 yards and 2 touchdowns. Devontae Adams, 106 receiving yards and a tutty catch. Puka Nacua, 136 total yards, 45-yard rushing touchdown. They're 2-0. Titans still looking to find a win with Cam Ward. Not this time. Niners versus Bears. Hey, Mac Jones finally got a win. Threw for 3 touchdowns along with Spencer Rattler on the other side. The defense had a game-sealing pressure. They forced some good turnovers and a sack. Saints are like mid. Why the hell is Kellen Moore there? Come back to Philly, bro. We need you. Bears versus Lions. Jesus Christ. It was, I mean, if you wanted to see animal on animal crime, this was it. I mean, poor Ben Johnson. The fans were chanting.
No. He brought this on himself. Okay.
Oh my
He brought this on himself when he went out and tried to induce Matt LaFleur in some sort of like a not a competitive rivalry, but like just shit talking. This is karma coming back to bite in your ass, Ben Johnson. You deserve every single pathetic result that the Bears are going to get, because you know that this year is going to be another year of the Bears' typical formula. Shit until you see another quarterback or another head coach, and you perpetuate this shitty circle of life that we call the Bears.
Oh my God. I have nothing else to say. Panthers versus Cardinals. Cardinals had a 27-3 lead, but they almost blew it. The Panthers had a comeback attempt, 3 touchdown passes in the second half, but it fell short. Calais Campbell with a final sack. Cardinals, they need to figure out how to win game, to finish a game, but Panthers so close, but too late. Panthers 0-2, Cards 2-0, and I think that is about it.
All righty. Well, that's going to be it for our week 2 recap. Another excellent week of NFL football in the books.
What was your
Some
NFL
amazing game.
game? I wanted to ask you that. Mine was the Andrew Luck pick.
Mine was the throw to Jaden Reed from Jordan Love that did not count.
Oh man!
I mean, it's one of the best throws that you'll see. It's just Jordan Love at the height of his powers, manipulating the pocket, moving around, making sure that he has enough space, resetting, and then chucking the ball down the field 45 to 50 yards with pinpoint accuracy right at the pylon where only Jaden Reed can catch it. And unfortunately, Jaden Reed did get injured on that play. And it didn't count. Otherwise, that would have been one of the best touchdowns that we'll see, this week. But yeah, that was my Masala play of the week. Nice. Actually, wait, no, scratch that. My Masala play of the week is from the Commanders game again. And it's the time where Jordan Love said, "Fuck you" to Frankie Louvu and rammed, not Frankie Louvu, but that Commander's corner and turned the Commander's corner into a pretzel by laying the shoulder. Yes. He was featured. Jordan Love won the Angry Run segment this week because of that play. That has to be the Masala play.
Nice.
All righty. Let's move on to week 3 now, shall we?
Yes. Who are the Packers playing?
Oh, we're playing the Brownies. I mean, what else can I say? Best defense in the league. 8 sacks, number 2 in the league, just behind the Patriots. Number 1 in overall EPA scored, 5th in pressure rate, while being the 6th lowest blitz rate. That means our front 4 is assassinating QBs left, right, and center without having to rely on extra pressure, which means our secondary is going to cover, which means we don't have to rely on opening up holes. We don't have to sacrifice opening up holes in the defense like we used to last year. And man, I don't have much else to say. We're gonna feast on this offense. They're gonna put Shadur in the 4th just to see what he's got. Like Dylan Gabriel, it's gonna be a preseason game for the Brownies. It's gonna be a preseason game for us. Joe Flacco is gonna last 1 quarter, and he's gonna no, I'm going back to the couch. Thanks, guys. I've had enough of Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, Devontae Wyatt, Lucas Van Ness, Edgerrin Cooper, Quay Walker. I am done. I'm going back to the couch. Yeah, Myles Garrett is on his
Myles Garrett, you should have left when you had the chance, but you didn't.
Exactly. You should have came on to Green Bay, and then we would have had Myles Garrett and Micah Parsons on our team.
I think you could keep Micah Parsons. You could keep Micah Parsons. Eagles should have gone for Myles Garrett. I know that there were rumors about it, but
yeah,
it would have been like a stupid amount.
Yeah. But yeah,
easy win. It has to be an easy win.
You
know what? You guess what? I have a beat the dome moment. I'll help you. Yeah. I'll make this easy for you. Beat the dome moment. The Packers better win by 20+ points.
Okay, I don't think we're winning by 20+ points, but we'll win by 2 scores.
I'm saying 20 I'm predicting 20 points.
So the only reason why I don't say that is because of our offense. I still think there's some inconsistency that has to be ironed out. Mm-hmm. And the Browns defense, while it is not top 10, it is still a pretty solid defense, especially against the run. They're top 10 in EPA per rush allowed. So that is something that we do have to face. It is going to be a pretty not hard fought, but it will be a game that you have to make sure you play cleanly. That's the best way I can say it.
I think so. I think that's
So,
right. Yeah.
so yeah, other than that, special teams cannot make mistakes because special teams was great week 1, then week 2 they shat the bed again. Um, yeah, just terrible punt coverage. That has to be better. That has to be better this game. But yeah, I think we win by 2 scores. I think we win 35-17 with a couple of garbage time touchdowns.
I think that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty. What's next?
We got another revenge matchup. Rams have had this circled. Rams at Philly. 1 o'clock game.
Oh, that's gonna be the game of the week.
Jared Verse. You got a lot of boo birds. That's all I can say. But I think, and I have to look at this in a couple vantage points. Eagles offense versus this Rams defense. Rams defense is going to be out for blood. That is for sure. I mean, the likes of Jared Verse, Braden Fisk, and adding Puna Ford. That's Byron Young, Jaden Verse, Braden Fisk, Kobe Turner. Then, of course, Puna Ford coming in.
Mhm.
That is a deadly front five. And don't forget Nate Landman, all of a sudden, good linebacker. And I don't know who their other linebacker is, but their front seven is on point. But here's the thing. Akilla Witherspoon is out. And they are putting in Emmanuel Forbes, who better known as is the stepchild of A.J. Brown, because A.J. Brown always has a career day against Emmanuel Forbes. And Forbes was with the Commanders back in the day. Like, I was there, Emmanuel Forbes. And he was a second-round pick from the Commanders. I think, I was there on my first Eagles home game. When I saw A.J. Brown destroy me, he, did, the too small sign. He literally made Emmanuel Forbes quit. And he was, crying on the side. I saw something. I'm like, look at him. But I think, honestly, but even with this thing, the Eagles passing offense, you cannot stagnate. So I'm saying this, and I know that they're not going to listen to me, but hear me out. Stick with the run game with Saquon Barkley. Because if they still cannot find a way to stop Saquon from those big, long runs, run the damn ball. And I would say start from under center. I want to see some pre-snap motions with that. Pre-snap motions, hell, from shotgun, move up to under center, hand it off to Saquon. I also would like to see some Bigsby snaps as well, because Will Shipley's out. You have Quad Father and Bigsby. Get those heavy backs in. I want to see a Hydra threat like that. And then, of course, the Rams corner position, it is very, very, they're not. And here's the thing, if you looked at in the playoff matchup, what the Rams pass rush did, Hurts had a 62.3 PFF grade in their matchup. And I think the same is going to be said. They're going to bring in a heavy dose of pass rush after what Spags did, and then this is a vanilla offense. But the Eagles still have one of the best O lines, and Jalen Hurts can still move around the pocket and make plays with his legs and his arms when needed to. But the play calling has to be on fucking point. They brought Puna Ford to help stop the run, but let's see, because if Saquon's able to attack from the outsides too, it may be a long day for the Rams. But I would say this: A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith have to attack early and feast. Because as much as I would like to say, I fear for the Rams secondary, their defense overall, their secondary is I want to say their secondary is a bit mid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I'm gonna pull up just a quick depth chart, Witherspoon's most likely gonna be out. So you're going to have to deal with the likes of, I don't know, Emmanuel Forbes, Cam Kitchens, Cam Crow, Kobe Durant. I think these are pretty good matchups to be in your favor. Hell, if Goddard's coming back in, I want to see them attack the middle of the field. If you saw what happened against the Chiefs, the Eagles didn't fucking do that. I need them to attack the middle of the field. I want to see crossers and slants. Like, get your head out of your ass. Stop playing simple. And yes, there will be mistakes will be made, but try to make less of them. And get your formations right. That's all I can say. And then, of course, the biggest biggest battle, I think, Vic Fangio versus Sean McVay, because Vic Fangio has destroyed the Kyle Shanahan system, in my point of view. He's made Kyle Shanahan and his disciples his bitch. If you think about it, Matt LaFleur is 0-2 against Fangio last year. Sean McVay 0-2 against Fangio last year. And I mean, Andy Reid is Vic Fangio's bitch. I'll say that. Yeah. I mean, all credit and all that, but then again, things change. I would say against Matt Stafford, this is an offense. We all know about what Sean McVay can do. Like, and I'll try and wrap this up pretty quickly. Matt Stafford, what they've done, they have started from the gun, heavy motion, and Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua are on point. That is going to be one of your biggest keys. Yes, just because Kyrie Williams are running back as a turnover machine, he still run the damn ball pretty well. I say Eagles defense, stop the run. I think we have that, especially with Jordan Davis and Mara Ojimo coming off alive. I mean, the trade up from Milton Williams to Mara Ojimo, not too much. And plus, Darius Smith coming in, replacing, and of course, the fucking phenom that's Jihad Campbell, who, and I know I'm going to get canceled right here. Jihad Campbell was waging jihad on everyone. I mean, that's the only time I'll say that. Yeah. But, I honestly think this is going to be the biggest secondary task. And I'm going to say this. Against Puka Nacua, I'm putting Quinyon Mitchell on him. I'm shadowing Puka Nacua with Quinyon Mitchell. And if you want, I would put in secondary help. I say put Makuba in as a back in case he tries some breaks outside. And if he beats Quinyon Mitchell, you have Makuba as a bracket or put in Reed Blankenship. Or I think one play which I liked with Fangio when he dialed up a blitz, he brought in Makuba as a safety blitz. And I would say Cooper DeJean stick to the slot. Devontae Adams loves the slot. Cooper DeJean has to stay in the nickel position. But Matt Stafford is smart. He's going to target Adoree Jackson all day. And I do not. And yes, maybe Jackson played well, but no, he fucking sucks still. I'd rather see Jacorian Bennett and Keely Ringo on the field than Adoree Jackson. And they're going to probably have like Tutu Atwell or someone else in that lineup, which is why I need the pass rush to attack Stafford early. Get the pressures, and they're going to go heavy in pre-snap motion, quick passing. I don't fucking care. I need Zach Bond in coverage. I'd rather have Jihad Campbell go blitz and attack from the edge sides. Hell, if you need to go 3 linebackers, get Jeremiah Trotter Jr. involved as well because he's pretty damn good too. And I think this is but here's the thing. There's an issue. Their left guard, Justin Dedek, Steve Avila, sprained his ankle in week 1. If he cannot play, Justin Dedek will likely start at left guard. He had a rough week against Jeff Simmons on week 2. And then I think, like, of course, getting Mahomes, like, that defensive line was able to get a lot of pressure on Mahomes and force him to turn over the ball. They could do that against Matt Stafford, get that quick passing game, and make him throw early instead of hitting his other targets. I think that's a very good game. I would recommend putting a spy on him, but Stafford has some tricks. And it's going to be a very tough game. And you know what? My heart is saying the Eagles win 27-20, but I have the Rams winning this one. This is going to be their Super Bowl. I think the Rams will win it 23-20 because I think they will be playing very hard. Jared Verse is going to be like, shut your bitch ass up and all this stuff. But if the Eagles somehow pull away with another win, I'm like, yes, up, bitch. So yeah, I honestly
that is true.
Winning this one 23-20. It'll be a very tough game, but and I think that's when, like, I know, like, the up and down is going to happen 2-2. We're going to call for Nick Sirianni to get fired. We're calling for Kevin Patullo to be sent to North Korea and all that shit. They rinse and repeat. And the meme is going to come back. Yay, I'm ready for my Eagles team to win. I'm going to kill myself. Yay, we won. If that happens, I'm like, I'm done.
Yep. All righty. Well, that is going to be it for our games of the week. Now we're going to move on to the Masala games of the week segment. Wrapping it up things quickly.
The Rapid Masala game of the week. What do we got?
All righty. I am choosing a barn burner in the Kansas City Chiefs versus those New York Football Giants.
What?
Sunday Night Football. Patrick Mahomes,
Huh?
Russell Wilson. Epic showdown. I just want to see a situation where the Chiefs start 0-3 and Russell Wilson has defeated Patrick Mahomes in the
Guys,
year 2025.
guys, to mark the time, September 17th, 10:28 Eastern Standard Time, Anant has lost it. He has lost it.
I want to see chaos.
Oh, God.
I want chaos. Giants, do your job. Beat the Chiefs, especially after. So, my sister actually sent this to me on Instagram.
Oh, no.
Recently, Travis Kelce and the Chiefs have gone under fire for wearing these dumbass T-shirts that says "Free number 4." You know which number 4 they're talking about?
Rashee Rice.
Rashee Rice. By the way, for those who have not been paying attention or who are just tuning in as first-time listeners,
Or
Rashee
living
Rice,
under a rock.
Rashee Rice was a wide receiver or is a wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, who, in his great wisdom, decided to race another person on one of the highways in the Dallas area in his Lamborghini Urus, caused an accident going at 120 miles an hour, caused severe brain trauma for one of the victims. It was a very serious car accident, and knowing the saint that he is, decides to just run away to try and find some help. But you know what he was doing? It was a hit and run case. And so now what has happened, rightfully so, well, depending on your own moral compass, he has received 30 days of jail time and 5 years of probation after his suspension of after this upcoming season, and the NFL has suspended him for the first 6 games of the season. And that is what they're referring to. Like, come the fuck on. You guys have already had terrible PR with the whole Harrison Butker fiasco. And now you have this. Just like, I mean, yeah. Chiefs deserve to lose. I want to see them suffer. I want their black devil worshiping, black magic devil worshiping asses to actually be handed into prison, just like their fans. Anything else that I can say?
I have no idea what
Let's
to say.
let's talk about football instead of my disposition against the Chiefs. Speaking of, from a football perspective, the Chiefs should beat the Giants. Will they? I don't know. Like, the Giants' defense is not that strong this year for obvious reasons, right? When you look at their passing defense, adjusted net yards per attempt, 6.5, that's 15th in the league. It's right middle of the pack. 15th most allowed.
Bless you.
Excuse me. 16th highest sack percentage. Not bad. And in terms of passer rating allowed, 14th in terms of passer rating allowed. Now, they have generated a lot of sacks. They're tied 4th in the league with the Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills and the Las Vegas Raiders at 6 sacks. So they do have an impressive pass rush. They also have not allowed that many touchdowns, just 3 touchdowns in the air. Their weakness is not their pass defense. It is their rushing defense. They have allowed the highest rushing defense, or the rushing yards per game so far in the past few weeks, 177.5. 177.5 rushing yards per game. And 5.9 rushing yards per attempt. That is second in the league. 4 touchdowns, which is tied for most in the league. They are, the worst, if not the second worst, rushing defense in the league so far across the 2 weeks. Granted, they did face the Washington Commanders and the Cowboys, but those 2 teams are not particularly known, except for the Commanders. But they're not like the best rushing. It's not like they faced the Ravens and the Bills in back-to-back weeks. Then I would really understand. It's the Commanders and the Cowboys. They have decent rushing attacks, but not 177 yards per game rushing attack. So when you look at the Chiefs' offense against this Giants defense, what do you think the Chiefs do well, Rakshak?
I think the Chiefs, they pass early, but they need to run the ball.
Bingo. Second highest yards before contact per attempt, 3.8 yards. But you know why? They are so bad at generating.
Matt Nagy is their offensive coordinator.
They've only attempted 43 times. It is the 5th lowest in the entire league so far.
And yet
you know what the Buffalo Bills have done?
What they have? They've ran it every single fucking time.
74 times. The Buffalo Bills. Listen to the top 10 rushing offenses in terms of just pure attempts, not just successes. Buffalo Bills 2-0, Colts 2-0, Eagles 2-0, Falcons 1-1, 49ers 2-0, Jets, the New York Jets 1-1, Jaguars, Packers.
No, Jets are 0-2.
Jets are 0-2, but they're close. That's the one aberration. Jaguars, Packers, Seahawks, Broncos, Bucks, and then finally you get to the Bears. Even the Bears have ran 10 more times than the Kansas City Chiefs, dude.
That's just sad.
Come on. Yes, a rushing offense is not the end-all be-all, but it is a great indicator if you can have a successful offense and a winning offense, because it allows you to control the time of possession, and especially a great offense when you look at how successful they are.
Insane.
They are so good at running the football behind that offensive line. Why don't they do that more often? Their passing offense is not that good, obviously, right? When you look at their passing offense,
I think about the Chiefs, right? Because if I remember, they still have Tyquan Thornton, they still have Travis Kelce and Juju Smith-Schuster. Noah Gray can only do sometimes. Just Jalen Watson or someone else. I don't know if he's still available, but just don't. It's not enough. They need to generate some kind of creative play calling, but I don't even see that. Pacheco is a good pass-catching running back. Why the hell are you not doing them or even using the screen game at all? Where is that?
Yeah. And then when you look at certain metrics, certain advanced metrics in the passing game, in terms of pressure, they have the lowest average pocket time, just 2 seconds.
Insane.
So they're trying to get the ball quickly out of Patrick Mahomes' hands. Whether that's because that offensive line is not good at defending, not good at stopping, which when you look at some of their metrics, it does kind of show that they're not like the greatest team in terms of pass blocking. But This is where you run the football so that you can help your passing offense, right? If you run the football well, which you have evidence of doing, run it off more often, then you can build more play action plays and RPOs. Maybe not RPOs if you don't want Mahomes to get clobbered, but he's a smart enough and intelligent quarterback where he can distinguish between which is a successful RPO and which is not. Especially if you don't have a deep passing offense, you use RPO, play action, boots, something built off of the run game.
Mm-hmm.
That is what good offenses do, right? That's what the Packers try to do every single game. Yes, they throw the ball deep more than any other team. But what do they try and do always? They try and build that running game. Why? Because they know that an efficient running game is more scary to the opposing defense than an efficient passing game. Because an efficient running game could potentially lead to a more explosive passing game. That fear and anticipation that goes on in a defensive coordinator's mind, that can be exploited if you have a great rushing game, which is why one of the reasons why the Eagles were so successful last year is because of that rushing attack with Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts. It allowed more opportunities for A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Same thing with the Ravens, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Now, I'm not saying in the Bills, Josh Allen, James Cook. Now, I'm not saying you have to go to that level, but at least you are a good – it's not like you're a terrible team and I'm expecting you to run more. But, yeah, so I think – I still haven't given my prediction for the Packers game either. I'll give that after the Chiefs and Giants. I think it really depends on which Chiefs you see on the field. If you see the Chiefs of the first 2 weeks, I think the Giants have a way to win.
Yep.
If you see the Super Bowl winning Chiefs of the past couple of years, it's going to be a boat race for the Chiefs.
100%.
But I just want to see chaos. So I want to see the Giants win 37-30. I know this is probably not going to happen. I think the Chiefs are going to win. I think it's going to be a blowout. Realistically speaking, I think the Chiefs are going to get right with this game. But I just want to see chaos. So let's see.
All for the chaos. I agree. I like that. And what's your Chiefs prediction? your Packers prediction?
Oh, right. No, I think I did give it. Yeah, 35-17.
Mm-hmm. For me, my game of the week, please, again, don't let it be cursed. Please don't curse me. Please do not curse me. I'm going with the Lions versus the Ravens. Two high-powered offenses, two good defenses. It's just going to be insane. Especially if you think about the Lions offense, like how they can run, not only attack you with the run and the pass, like they have after that victory of the Bears, the Lions have apparently a third highest explosive pass rate in the league for the week, 17.2% with Jared Goff from a clean pocket. And also, don't forget, you have the backup of Sonic and Knuckles, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. If the run game gets going, they cannot be stopped. With an excellent 5.7 adjusted yards per carry since the start of the 2025 season. And of course, and you cannot forget their playmakers for the Lions. I mean, you're looking at Amon-Ra St. Brown. Did I tell you how much I love watching Amon-Ra St. Brown run routes? He has like 8.3 targets per game. Sam Laporta, tight end, whenever he's available. Don't forget Jamison Williams, who is a great guy. I think he can almost act like that gadget player. He can rush him for a touchdown. He can pass for a touchdown. But this time, if you think that the Lions are going to just run straight up at Sonic and Knuckles against this Ravens defense, think again, because the Ravens have been among the league's best at stopping the run. They've only allowed a league that's 82 adjusted yards per great game on the ground. And they have great defensive tackles like Nnamdi Madubuike, Broderick Washington. Don't forget their pass defense led by Mr. freaking Kyle Hamilton. They've been very, very strong. So I'd love to see the matchups. I just don't think Jair Alexander can be that guy to match up against Amon-Ra St. Brown or anyone else. But I say like you put in someone like a Nate Wiggins. And I think like the only injury concerns is with Kyle Van Noy most likely being out and potential safety Ardarius Washington and tight end Patrick Ricard. That's going to be a bit issue, but I think like the funnest, biggest matchup I'm going to love watching is going to be that Ravens defense against the Lions offense. That is just going to be, I'm like thinking, who the hell matched Amon-Ra St. Brown? And I know I said this again, but do you know how much I love watching? I love watching Amon-Ra St. Brown run routes.
How much?
This much. I mean, and you know what? I would not be surprised if they line Nate Wiggins with Amon-Ra or Jameson Williams, and guess what? You bring in Kyle Hamilton to pair up against Amon-Ra St. Brown. That is going to be ridiculous fun. I mean, with all due respect to John Money, I don't think he has that edge anymore. I just don't see it.
No, I think he's also. There were some reports that he's going to be a healthy scratch as well for this game, which is really, really bad. Which also is another winning move for Goody.
And here's and like looking at the depth chart just alone by that, if Jair Alexander's not there, you're going to be relying on Kalen Martin and Jadovia Awuzie, who's okay at best. But can you say this in full confidence that Jadovia Awuzie can match up with the legs of freaking Khalif Raymond or Jameson Williams while you have Nate Wiggins on Amon-Ra? Can you say this with full confidence? I just don't see it. Yeah. But it's going to be a fun matchup. But now, here comes my favorite part. The Lions defense against the Ravens offense. Holy shit. This is going to be fun. I think, like, so far, if they lead, like, the Ravens offense, they lead the league in points per game, 40.5. They rank in the top 5 in multiple offensive categories, including DVOA. They're second in DVOA. And Lamar Jackson, he can not only run, he can run, he can pass, he can make balloons. He has a special skill like that. I'm joking. I mean, he's multi-talented. I mean, in week 2, 4 touchdowns, 225 yards passing. Even when the run game was stymied. I mean, speaking of the run game, Derrick Henry, like in his first 2 games, he's had like 192 yards and 2 touchdowns, 6.6 yards per carry. But guess what? When doubted, he can turn over the ball. That's what I think the Lions are trying to do, because the Lions, with Marcus Davenport a little bit issue, I think you're going to be seeing a lot of Aiden Hutchinson, Tyreek Williams, DJ Reader, and that front 4. Like Tyler Lacey will probably come in, Alex Anzalone will also, and Jack Campbell. Those 7 are going to be there. And of course, apparently I found out that Zach Cunningham, Eagles legend, linebackers over there from the 2023 dumpster fire. I forgot. On the Ravens defense, I forgot. Alongside with Kyle Hamilton, they're freaking Malachi Starks. I forgot about that. Fucking hell. I was that the Eagles could have taken him, but hey, you know, DeHart Campbell's working out pretty damn well. So I'll take that. But like back to the Ravens offense, like if Andrew, I mean, no disrespect to Mark Andrews, if he can catch a ball, if he can catch it all, Lamar Jackson's going to have a lot more weapons other than Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman and D-Hops. DeAndre Hopkins has been a blessing for Lamar Jackson, in my point of view. I mean, I would say with Zay Flowers, he leads the team in receiving in his first 2 years. He already has 14 catches for 218 yards and a touchdown. But if I were to think about the matchup wise, I could imagine either Terry and Arnold will try and beat on Zay Flowers, but hear me out. They could switch it out, have Brian Branch come in to guard him, and then they
Yeah.
have Zay Flowers, and then they have or they could do Brian Branch. Hear me out. They could do Brian Branch on Zay Flowers, Terry and Arnold on DeAndre Hopkins, or vice versa. I do. You know what? Brian Branch on D Hops, Terry and Arnold on Zay Flowers. That'd be my best bet. And then Rashad
Mhm.
Bateman, I think you could try and switch in DJ Reed or Kirby Joseph on that. But I think this is a freaking chess piece. And Ravens offensive line, don't underestimate them. Underestimate them at your own peril. Ronnie Stanley, Andrew Voorhees, Tyler Lindenbaum, Daniel Balale, and Roger Rosengart, and Lamar Jackson's ability to rush. But I think this is where Aiden Hutchinson has to show out. He needs a breakout game. And I think they can pull it off. And which is why like with Marcus Davenport, if he's not playing, Aiden Hutchinson has to be on point. And I think it's gonna be, and honestly, with both teams suffering injuries and whatnot, this is gonna be a high scoring game. I honestly think this is gonna be a high scoring game. Ravens are gonna be playing at home, and I think they win 30-27. It's gonna be a last second score. Lamar Jackson will have what will complete a game.
I agree.
Well, any thoughts
I
that you would like to share on this one? Because I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I don't think either of these defenses are 100% in their element right now, but both offenses are almost reaching their 100% potential. So I definitely agree that this is going to be an actual barn burner, right? It's not going to be one of those defensive battles. I think it's going to be like 41-39 or something really, really, really close, right? Or like 41-38, and then one offense, either offense, the Lions or the Ravens, are going to get that last second field goal. And in my mind, it's going to be the Ravens because obviously I cannot root for the Lions as a Packers fan. But I would not be surprised if the Lions walk away with the win because they're so evenly matched. So yeah. Alrighty. Well, that's going to be it for us today. If you guys have enjoyed, please leave us a review. One of the 4 podcast platforms that we host our podcast on: Apple, Google, Spotify, and Podcast, or Backtrack.
They are also on YouTube, so make sure you like, share, subscribe, and click on the bell icon for more notifications. We're also on social media, the following platforms: Twitter, Twitter/X, Instagram, and Threads. All lowercase at NFL Masala 2022. That is at NFL Masala 2022. That will be all in the description on YouTube and on Spotify and whatnot.
So now we're going to hit you guys with the signature outro. Go, Pack, go.
And fly, Eagles, fly. Take care and have a good night.